Chosen one, hear this loud and clear. What I'm about to share with you is urgent. If you're watching this, it's not a coincidence. God has led you here for a reason. Right now, there's a powerful, divine calling on your life. The assignment has been given, and it must be completed by this weekend. The time is now. God's instructions are clear and non-negotiable. This is no longer about what you want. It's about what you've been called to do. The blessings, opportunities, and breakthroughs you've been waiting for are finally within reach. But there's a catch. You must act before the deadline, by this weekend. Everything can change, but only if you step up and fulfill your divine assignment. This isn't a casual request. It's a direct mandate from heaven. Everything you've been praying for, dreaming of, and believing in is tied to this exact moment. The shift is happening now, and your obedience is the key to unlocking it. There's no room for hesitation, no time for second guess. If you are truly chosen, you'll feel the urgency in your spirit. The clock is ticking, and the task must be completed by May 25th. The universe is aligning on your behalf, but you must take the first step. If you're ready to act, here's what you need to do. Hit that like button to confirm your alignment. Subscribe to help us reach 1,000 chosen voices united in purpose. Comment 99 to show you're in agreement with God's plan for your life. This isn't about algorithm tricks, it's about obedience. Your action sends a signal to the universe that you're ready, and the energy around you will multiply exponentially. This is your moment. If you feel that inner pull, if your heart is racing, if something in your spirit says yes, watch this message until the end. It could be the moment that shifts everything for you. God's will for your life is powerful and life-changing. The time is short. The task is critical. Get ready to ride, because the moment has arrived. There's a divine command you can no longer ignore. God has given you a mission, urgent and undeniable, and it must be fulfilled by this weekend. This task is not a suggestion or an optional opportunity. It is a clear, sacred order. Time is running out, and you are being called into a purpose that will change the course of your life forever. This is your moment of truth. A divine window is opening, and your response must be rooted in faith and immediate action. You may have been waiting for a sign or doubting your direction, but the path is now clear. God has spoken, and there's no turning back. The task may seem simple, but its impact will be profound. Complete the assignment by May 25th, and you will unlock a flood of blessing. Do not delay. The outcome of your obedience will determine the course of what's to come. You are not just following instructions. You are unlocking divine favor and spiritual elevation. This is your time to shine, to rise above the ordinary, to embrace the extraordinary calling on your life. Your obedience will open doors you never even imagined. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. The clock is ticking, and the assignment must be completed. This assignment must be completed by this weekend. God's final command is clear. You are not here by accident. You are the chosen one, handpicked for a divine purpose that only you can fulfill. It is no coincidence that you are reading this right now. God has set you apart, and now is the time to act. The mission before you is more than just a task. It is a divine mandate. This is a moment that will forever alter the trajectory of your life. It's not just about you. It's about the impact your obedience will have on everyone connected to you. Your faith, your courage, your willingness to rise will inspire others to do the same. When you say yes to this calling and lead by example, a ripple effect will be ignited, reaching far beyond anything you could imagine. The time has come for you to step fully into your destiny. This mission is not optional. It is a holy call placed on your heart by God Himself, and it must be answered with everything you have. God does not make mistakes. If you're here, it's because you were meant to be. This moment, this assignment, this opportunity, it's been reserved for you. Trust in His plan. Know that every single act of obedience is bringing you closer to a future overflowing with purpose and blessing. The moment is now. God is waiting for you to move. The clock is ticking. The time you have to complete this assignment is growing shorter by the minute. The deadline is May 25th. The urgency cannot be overstated. This is not a mission that can be postponed. God has given you a specific time frame, and you are being called to move swiftly and with intention. Have you ever felt time closing in on you, like a divine pressure urging you to act? That's what this is. That's your sign. The window of opportunity is open, but it will not stay open forever. You've prayed for direction. You've asked for purpose. This is it. This is your answer. You are being called to rise, to fulfill your destiny and take action now. Every moment you hesitate is a moment that could cost you your breakthrough. The difference between stepping into a life of divine purpose and missing what you've been praying for comes down to action. May 25th is the final day. Move with urgency, knowing this assignment holds the key to your next level. This is not something to take lightly. God is watching, and He will weigh your response. The importance of this mission cannot be overstated. It's not just about the completion. It's about the heart you bring to it, the faith, the diligence, the passion. You are being trusted with something sacred, something that holds eternal significance. Every step you take in obedience is being recorded, and it will determine the blessings, the elevation, and the open doors that flow into your life. Think about this. When God gives you an assignment, He is showing you that He trusts you. He sees your potential. He believes in your ability to carry out His will. This assignment is a test, but it is also an opportunity, a divine invitation to prove your faithfulness, to demonstrate your commitment, to show the heavens that when God called, you move. The judgment that comes from fulfilling this mission is not meant to instill fear. It is meant to bring joy. Joy in knowing you are walking in God's will. Joy in knowing your life is aligned with divine purpose. This is not about perfection. God is not expecting flawless execution. He is looking for a heart that is willing to serve, to obey, and to say yes. Yes, your actions matter. Yes, your choices will be measured. But in the end, it is your willingness to honor God that matters most. It's time to step into the light and boldly declare who you are. You are the chosen one. And now is the moment to announce to the world, not from a place of ego or pride, but from a place of sacred responsibility. This divine calling on your life carries weight. And by declaring your purpose, you are not just accepting the mission, you are stepping into alignment with heaven's design. When you take this bold step, you unlock a new level of purpose, clarity, and courage. People around you will sense the change. Your declaration will awaken something in them, something that calls them to rise, to move, and to embrace their own divine calling. You are not walking this path alone. By proclaiming your mission publicly, you create space for others to walk with you. Your courage gives others permission to believe, to follow, and fulfill their own assignments from God. This announcement is more than a message to the world. It is a proclamation to yourself. It is a holy affirmation of who you are, why you're here, and what you were created to do. Stand tall, stand proud. The world is watching, and your obedience will ripple through hearts and lives like waves of light and purpose. And now, a deeper call. God is asking you to gather. He has instructed you to bring together 10 people, whether they are friends, family members, or even casual acquaintances. Invite them into this sacred mission. Together, you will pray, meditate, and rise in unity. There is power in number. When hearts align in faith, God's presence magnifies in the midst of the gathering. Imagine the spiritual force created when 10 souls unite with a single purpose, to honor God and seek His will. This act of unity is not just about completing a task. It's about becoming a vessel of divine movement. As you gather these 10 people, you're forming a bond that reaches beyond the physical. It becomes spiritual, eternal. You are touching the very heart of God. Do not fear what others might think. This is not about their judgment. It's about your obedience. Whether they are believers or not, they will feel the shift. They will witness the strength of your collective faith. With every moment of collective prayer and unity, your inner self will rise. You will feel the power of the Holy Spirit moving within you, guiding you, uplifting you, drawing you closer to the divine purpose God has placed on your life. This is not merely a time to ask for blessing. It is a sacred opportunity to align yourself with God's will, allowing His presence to flow through every part of you. The more you gather together in prayer and meditation, the more you will rise to meet the greatness God has called you to. Do not underestimate the power of collective faith. When hearts are united, they form a spiritual atmosphere where miracles are possible. God is waiting to move, and through your unity, He will pour out blessings in ways you've never seen before. Doubt may try to creep in, and that's natural. But know this, your mission does not rest on your strength alone. It rests on God. When fear whispers that you're not enough, remember who stands beside you. The Creator of the universe is with you. He has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. Do not allow doubt to paralyze your purpose. Do not second guess your calling. You are not alone. Remember the stories of the great leaders throughout Scripture. Moses stood before a sea with nothing but faith, yet the waters parted. David faced a giant with a stone and a prayer, and triumph. Their victory came not from human strength, but divine obedience. And just like them, you are called to walk forward even when the way seems uncertain. God's plan is always bigger than your fear. When you move in faith, He moves with you. The mission must be completed, despite the doubts that arise, because through your obedience, God will carry you. And now, part of your mission involves giving. God has blessed you, and now He is asking you to bless others. You are being called to donate 1% of your current wealth to those in need. This may seem small, but in the eyes of heaven, it is a powerful act of obedience. Giving is not about the amount, it's about the posture of your heart. This act of generosity is a tangible expression of your gratitude for the blessings you've received. It's a reminder that your wealth isn't just for your comfort, it's a tool for God's purpose. When you give, you align yourself with God's heart for the poor, the forgotten, and the overlooked. Through your giving, His love flows through you and touches others in ways you may never fully see. And here's a divine truth: obedience unlocks overflow. When you give from the heart, God multiplies what remains. This single act of obedience, this 1%, can unlock financial breakthroughs beyond what you imagine. You're not losing anything, you're activating abundance. Giving is a spiritual principle. It opens doors, it tears down walls, and it creates a divine flow of provision. God has designed a system where generosity brings multiplication. And when you trust Him with what's in your hand, He will fill it with more than you can carry. God wants to rise within you and through you, and in this act of unity, He will move in ways you cannot yet imagine. When you come together in collective prayer and meditation, something extraordinary happens. Each person brings their own faith, energy, and intention, and together you create a spiritual momentum that cannot be stopped. It's not just about the words you speak, it's about the hearts that align. Together, you become a living force of divine light, love, and power. Show God that you trust Him to provide. Your 1% donation is not just a sacrifice, it's an investment in your future. It's a seed planted in fertile, spiritual soil. It may seem small today, but in God's hands, that seed will grow, multiply, and bear fruit in due season. Think of giving as a divine transaction, a moment where your faith activates heaven's response. You may not see the results instantly, but rest assured, God is already working behind the scenes. He's opening doors, shifting circumstances, and preparing breakthroughs you never saw coming. When you give, you break the mindset of scarcity and step into the abundance God has always promised. Trust in the principle of sowing and reaping. As you honor this principle, watch your financial situation begin to shift in supernatural ways. God's plan for your prosperity isn't random, it's intentional. It's a divine blueprint designed not just to elevate you, but also to bless everyone connected to you. Even the smallest act of obedience, giving your 1%, can unlock the floodgates of heaven. God's promise is clear. When you give, He multiplies. He takes what you release in faith and returns it in overflow. Remember the widow with 2 coins. Her offering wasn't impressive by the world's standards, but to God, it was everything. It wasn't the amount that mattered. It was a faith behind it. And that same principle applies to you. When you give in faith, regardless of the size, you position yourself for divine multiplication. God doesn't bless based on number. He blesses based on faith. Your 1% could be the very seed that sparks both a financial and spiritual breakthrough in your life. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a promise. God's plan for you includes prosperity, but it's activated through your willingness to trust Him with your resources. Every penny given in obedience becomes a seed, and God is the one who brings a harvest. Get ready for a future overflowing with divine multiplication, one that exceeds your wildest dream, because this mission you're on is not just a spiritual assignment, it is the gateway to radical blessing. What's at stake is not just a task, it's your future. By completing this assignment, you are stepping into a season of unprecedented breakthrough, favor, and blessing. The steps you take today will pave the way for an abundant tomorrow. If you choose to obey and act on this divine calling, you will witness doors open that were once tightly shut. Financial opportunities will appear. Paths to personal growth and spiritual elevation will unlock. Your faith will grow in ways you never thought possible. Every act of obedience, gathering 10 people to pray and meditate, giving to those in need, sets off a ripple effect. That ripple becomes a wave of blessings that flows through your life and into the lives of others. But here's the truth. Failing to act means missing out. Hesitation delays the very breakthroughs that God has already prepared for you. The blessings are real. The promise is true. But the next move is yours. This is your moment. Don't let it pass. Say yes to the assignment. Step forward in faith. Sow the seed. Gather the 10. Watch the miracles unfold. Do not let this moment pass you by, because what's at stake is far greater than your finances. It's your divine destiny. Your moment has arrived. This is your time to rise and shine. God has been preparing you for this very season, a season unlike any other, a season of extraordinary favor, breakthrough, and purpose. The mission before you may feel daunting, but it is actually the gateway to greatness. By stepping into it with faith and obedience, you are positioning yourself to walk into a new dimension of divine favor and prosperity. Picture this. Doors that were once shut will suddenly open, opportunities you never even dreamed will begin to appear, and a deep sense of purpose will settle in your spirit. God's favor will rest upon you, not because of what you've done, but because of your obedience, your willingness to gather others, to pray in unity, to give generously. These are the acts that will ignite divine transformation in your life. This is not just about shining. It's about standing in the light of God's glory. It's about becoming a beacon of hope, inspiration, and faith for others. Your rise isn't for you alone. It's going to bless your family, your friends, and everyone connected to you. You will be a living testimony of God's overflowing goodness. Now is the time to prepare for the rise. The mission God has entrusted to you is not optional. It is a command from heaven. To ignore it, delay it, or dismiss it is to risk missing out on blessings you were born to receive. Disobedience may feel easy in the moment, but it always comes at a cost. It delays your break. It postpones your promotion. It blocks the flow of divine favor. If you choose not to act now, you may find yourself stuck in a waiting room you were never meant to stay in. Remember the story of Jonah. He received a clear command from God, but chose to run the other way. What followed was a season of hardship and delay. But when Jonah finally obeyed, the floodgates of blessing opened. God's commands are not burden. They're invitations to elevation. To ignore them is to delay the very breakthrough you've been praying for. This is your moment to step fully into the fullness of God's plan. Do not delay. Do not hesitate, because the consequences of disobedience are greater than the temporary comfort of staying where you are. Trust in God's plan for you. Move with boldness. Act in obedience. And watch as a flood of blessings begins to flow into your life. The clock is ticking. The deadline is near. May 25th is the final day. There is no more time to wait. This is not just a deadline. It is a divine marker. It signifies a moment when your obedience will unlock the next season of your life. God has set this time frame with intention. The urgency you feel is not pressure. It's positioning. May 25th is more than a date. It is the moment heaven aligns with earth to pour out favor on those who choose to act. You have been given clear instruction. You have been entrusted with a holy assignment, and now it's time to complete it. God has already prepared the way. Now it's time for you to walk in it. This assignment is not about rushing. It's about completing it with purpose, faith, and devotion. Once May 25th arrives, there will be no turning back. This is your moment to act, to rise, and fulfill the mission that has been set before you. The blessings and breakthroughs that will follow your obedience will be worth every bit of effort. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Take action now and watch as God begins to move in your life in ways you never imagined. May 25th is your divine deadline. This is your time to rise to the occasion. You must now face the truth. This divine assignment is not a suggestion. It is a command from the Creator himself. There is no room for negotiation, no space of delay. The clock is ticking. Each passing moment brings you closer, not just to the end of the opportunity, but to the consequences of inaction. God has revealed his plan for your life. The choice is now yours. Will you fulfill it, or will you miss the breakthroughs waiting just on the other side of your obedience? This is the moment that could change everything. Your future, your destiny, your spiritual walk. All of it hangs in the balance. The urgency of this calling cannot be overstated. From this moment forward, every step you take will either bring you closer to the magnificent rewards God has promised, or further away from the blessings you've been praying for. God has ordained this moment for a reason. He is calling you to rise, and he is watching to see what you will choose. The blessings are real, but they are only claimed through action. Disobedience, hesitation, or delay will lead to spiritual drought and missed opportunity. This is not just a call, it's a turning point. One decision right now can open doors to greatness or close them forever. So as the clock ticks toward May 25th, take a deep breath. Remember this truth: God has already paved the way, but it is up to you to walk through it. This assignment is a non-negotiable piece of his divine blueprint, and your choice to obey will determine what comes next: abundance or delay, breakthrough or stagnation. God has already given you revelation. This is your final opportunity to rise. You've been called, you've been chosen. Now you must act. Yes, this truth is bold, maybe even shocking, but it cannot be ignored. You are standing on the edge of something extraordinary, and the only way to experience it is to rise to meet it. This is not a drill. This is a defining moment of your future. The window is closing, and it's critical that you seize this divine opportunity. You may feel unprepared. You may feel unsure, but hear this clearly. God is with you. He is not asking for perfection. He is asking for trust. His guidance will lead you. His favor will empower you. His strength will sustain you. The task may seem overwhelming, but remember, with God, all things are possible. This revelation is not just message. It is a wake-up call. It is a divine nudge, a final push, a sacred invitation to move forward with courage. The blessings God has prepared for you are real, but they are locked behind your obedience. This is a pivotal moment. Your next action will either open the door to divine favor or cause it to remain shut. Choose to rise, and you will step into a new level of faith, prosperity, and spiritual fulfillment. When God offers you the chance to rise, it's never just about personal advancement. Your obedience becomes a catalyst, not just for your breakthrough, but for the blessings that will ripple into the lives of those around you. This is your final chance to step fully into your purpose and rise to the destiny that has been written for you. You've been waiting for this. For months, maybe years, you've prayed for a divine breakthrough. You've asked for a sign for the moment when everything would finally align. This is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. God has intervened on your behalf. He has orchestrated this divine opportunity to elevate your life. The task before you is no longer optional. It is now the gateway to the breakthrough you've longed for. You may have prayed for financial freedom, for peace of mind, for clarity, for purpose. This assignment is the key that unlocks those desires. It's no coincidence that now is the time you're being called. God's intervention is always time. He has seen your struggle. He has heard your prayer. And now He is giving you the chance to step into a brand new season of abundance. This is not about what you can accomplish alone. This is about what God can do through you. He has already prepared everything you need to succeed. The doors that have been closed are about to open. The prayers that felt unanswered are about to be fulfilled. Don't hesitate. Don't doubt. This is your moment to shine. The divine intervention you've been waiting for is here, and all you have to do is take the step of faith. God is already working behind the scene. Your only task is simple. Act now. Watch as His divine plan unfolds in ways you never imagined. Breaking news: God's judgment is not something to fear. It's something to understand. It's not about punishment. It's about divine alignment. It's a process by which God determines whether we're ready to receive the blessings we prayed for or whether those blessings will be delayed. God has already set a timeline for your success. It is up to you to obey the call. Complete this assignment, and His favor will pour over you. Ignore it, and the breakthrough that could have been yours will be postponed. This is not random. This is not meaningless. This is divine order. God's judgment is meant to guide you, not to condemn, but to lead you toward your highest potential. But His affirmation is activated by your obedience. The task in front of you is not arbitrary. It is strategic. It is sacred. It is a final piece in the puzzle that leads to everything you've been asking for. God's judgment will either affirm your faithfulness and open doors, or delay your progress until obedience aligns with His will. The urgency of this moment cannot be overstated. And here's the truth: God has already given you everything you need. Now, all that's left is your response. God has already given you everything you need to succeed, but your obedience is the key that unlocks His judgment in your favor. When you choose to act, you are positioning yourself for an outpouring of divine blessing. However, if you hesitate, delay, or refuse to respond, you risk entering a season of waiting and uncertainty. This is not the time to pause. The clock is ticking, and your future depends on your response. Make the choice to obey. Complete the mission. Embrace the divine judgment that will usher in a season of unprecedented blessing. This is the moment that will transform your life. God has strategically positioned positioned you at the intersection of time and destiny. It's not just about completing a task. It's about stepping into a new life, a life overflowed with divine favor, abundance, and breakthrough. The road ahead is paved with God-ordained opportunities that will redefine your future, but only if you act now. Do not let this moment slip away. When you choose to obey God's calling, you step into a season of favor that will exceed every expectation. The financial freedom, the spiritual growth, the prosperity you've prayed for, it's all on the other side of this assignment. But you must take that first step, trusting God's plan. He has already gone before you and prepared the way. This isn't just a fleeting opportunity, it's a divine shift. Your life will never be the same once you complete this assignment. The people around you will notice something different, a new energy, a new purpose, a new confidence born from walking in God's will. Don't miss the chance to step into the life you've always dreamed of. This is the divine moment, and it's now or never. Take action, trust God, and prepare to see your life transformed in ways you never thought possible. The future you've been waiting for is right on the other side of this divine mission. The countdown has begun. God's orders are clear. They are non-negotiable. This weekend is the deadline. Your opportunity to act is right now. Very passing moment brings you closer to either the rewards or the consequences of your decision. The time for procrastination is over. God has set this moment aside for you. You have been entrusted with a divine mission, and now it's time to rise to the occasion. This weekend marks a critical point in your spiritual and financial journey. Your obedience will determine the blessings that follow. If you act, you'll receive divine favor, clarity, and breakthrough. But if you wait, you risk delaying the blessings that are already prepared for you. The decision to act now is crucial. God's plan for your prosperity, peace, and purpose depend on your obedience. This weekend, the assignment must be completed. God has given you clear instructions. He is not asking for perfection. He is asking for your obedience. You may feel uncertain. You may not see the full picture, but God does. And when you trust Him, He will guide every step of the way. The divine countdown is ticking. Your obedience is the key. Your obedience will be the key that unlocks the future you've been praying for. Take action now before time runs out. Trust in God's timing and know that your obedience this weekend will activate a chain reaction of blessings, breakthroughs, and divine favor. This is not just another suggestion. This is an urgent divine command, and it cannot be ignored. The assignment God has placed before you is not simply important. It is crucial to the prosperity, peace, and breakthrough you have long been seeking. God's instructions are clear. You must act now. If you fail to complete this task, the blessings that could have been yours may be delayed or lost. God is offering you an extraordinary opportunity, but He expects obedience in return. Think of this moment as a final test, a sacred moment where your faith and commitment are being tested. Every blessing you've asked for, every prayer you've sent to heaven is tied to your response right now. This isn't just about receiving blessing. It's about stepping into your destiny. If you ever felt stuck, waiting for God to move, this is that moment. This is your chance. The decision to act on this assignment is the key to unlocking the life God has promised you. It's your choice. Will you obey, or will you miss the moment that could forever change your life? Failure to act may not just delay your blessing. It may cause them to slip away entirely. Now is the time to move. Your destiny, your future, and your blessings are tied to this divine assignment. Do not let hesitation rob you of what God has already prepared. The clock is ticking. Time is running out. Every moment you wait brings you closer to missing the miracles God has set aside just for you. Your obedience is the key to a cascade of miracles. But the longer you hesitate, the more you push back the breakthrough, the supernatural favor, and the abundance waiting for you. This assignment isn't just a task. It is your gateway to the floodgates of heaven. Picture it now. Financial breakthrough, peace in your heart, restoration in your relationship, an outpouring of divine favor. They are all within your reach, but they are triggered by your obedience. So act now, walk in faith, honor God's command, and prepare for the outpouring that's been waiting on the other side of your yes.